Subject formula in SAT. Subject formula is how to change the equation in terms of another symbol. Again, for example, if you have equation, an easy equation, y is equal x plus 3, but you wanted to change the subject to, instead of saying y is equal, you wanted to say x is equal to what? First step is to write what you wanted to make the subject to the left hand side. So I'm going to write x plus 3 to the left hand side and write everything the same. Now you are going to think what the steps I shall do to keep x in the left hand side. Positive 3 move to the other side. So x is equal y minus 3. So the equation now is y minus 3. So y is equal x plus 3. The subject here was y and I'm changing the subject to x. Let's take another example. 2y is equal 5x plus 1. And I wanted to make x is the subject. So I'm going to write 5x plus 1 to the left hand side and write 2y on the right hand side. This is easier for you to solve. Positive 1 move to the other side. So first I'm going to move the plus or the minus beside the term of x. So it's 2y minus 1. Then I'm going to divide both terms by 5. You have two methods here. You may divide both terms by 5, so you will figure out that the answer is 2y minus 1 over 5, or sometimes you gotta divide each term by 5. So it could be written as 2y over 5 minus 1 over 5. Another example. What if x and y are both together in the same term? 3x, or make it 3y minus x is equal to 8. In this case, you don't have to write left and right side. You just move what beside x. So if I move 3y to the other side, it's going to be negative 3y. But I will give you advice. In case of you have x with negative, move the x. In case of you have x with negative, move the x. So I gotta move negative x to the other side and move 8 to the left hand side. When I move x to the right hand side, it's gonna be x. And I will keep 3y. And positive 8 move to the other side is negative 8. So it's directly can be written as x is equal 3y minus 8. Fourth example, what if I have x and y in two different terms? There is a big difference between y is equal x over 3 and y is equal 3 over x and y is equal to 3 over x plus 1. In the first one, if x in the numerator, keep it in your mind, I will make cross multiplication. So x directly is equal to 3y. But if x in the denominator, so the first case here, x is in the numerator, the second x is in the denominator. In case of x in the denominator, are going to switch, flip, but switch is better. It's switch between x and y. So I'm going to write that x is equal 3 over y. But what if I have a case that x plus 1 is here? So flip first, write it as x plus 1 is equal to 3 over y, and easily you can move positive 1 to the other side, so x is equal to 3y over y minus 1. So these three cases is explaining for you in case of x and y are written as fraction and you want to write x as subject formula. Another example for the root and the squaring. In case of you have a root, you are going to write root x plus 5 is equal to y first. Then you move positive 5 to the other side. So root x is equal y minus 5. By moving out the root, I am squaring the right hand side. Again, by moving out the root, I'm squaring the right hand side. So x is equal y minus 5 all to the power of 2. But in case of it's x plus 5 equal to y and you moved positive 5 to the other side, so x squared is equal y minus 5. The squaring is moving to the other side root, so x is equal root y minus 5. Usually we don't write positive and negative root, we write it as a positive root of y minus 5. What about in case of I have 3x squared and 3x squared in the numerator, so 3x squared is equal multiply of y and m. Then I'm going to divide it both by 3, so x squared is equal ym over 3. So x is equal root of ym over 3. Since the question is a subject formula, I don't need to read all of that. So you don't have to read all of these words. So I have I is equal p over 4 pi r squared. I may ask about p or I may ask about r. So we can notice that he is asking about r squared. Since r squared is in the denominator, so all what I'm going to do is switch between I and r squared. So r squared is equal p over 4 pi, and I'm going to write I down. So the answer is B. We should know that if y is equal m over t x, and I wanted to make x is the subject, I'm going to write the reciprocal of m and t. So the reciprocal is t over m y. Again, if y is equal m over t multiplied by x, and by the way, it could be written as m x over t, it's the same because this is mt. So if you wanted to make x the subject, you only flip the fraction, and this is the same. M is equal, for example, x over y p, and you wanted to make p the subject. So all what you are going to do is to flip the fraction. I don't care about the negative, I don't care about the n, I don't care about the r, I don't care about all of these. I'm going to write this one up and take this one down. So the right answer will be B. We should know that if y is equal m over t x, and I wanted to make x is the subject, I'm going to write the reciprocal of m and t. So the reciprocal is t over m y. Again, if y is equal m over t multiplied by x, and by the way, it could be written as m x over t, it's the same because this is mt. So if you wanted to make x the subject, you only flip the fraction, and this is the same. M is equal, for example, x over y p, and you wanted to make p the subject. So all what you are going to do is to flip the fraction. I don't care about the negative, I don't care about the n, I don't care about the r, I don't care about all of these. I'm going to write this one up and take this one down. So the right answer will be B. For this question, it's also subject formula, so I don't have to read all of these. So he wants to make V as a subject formula, right? So we are going to write negative 16 t squared plus vt plus k is equal to h. By moving positive k and moving negative 16 to the other side, so vt is equal h minus plus 16t squared minus k. And then you will have to divide by t. So v is equal h plus 16t squared minus k over t. Notice that I wrote 3 steps. So I should think about the answer right now. I don't have to write more steps to save the time. So it's clear for us that 16t squared is positive, right? So I'm going to cancel this one. I'm going to cancel this one because I don't have t. I'm going to cancel this one because this one is negative. So I am sure that the right answer is D. How come? First, it's h minus k. So it's h minus k and still over t. And when you divide it, 16t squared divided by t, t squared divided by t is t, so it's 16t. So in case of you don't want to write that last step, you may think about it and cancel the missing or the wrong answer. R is equal f over n plus f. And I wanted to make f is the subject, as it's clear here. But we can notice that I have f in two places. So it's better to make cross multiplication here. So r multiplied by n is rn plus r multiplied by f is rf equal to f. I'm going to move this f to this side. So rn is equal to f minus rf. By taking f as a highest common factor, it's 1 minus r. And here is rn. So I'm going to divide both terms by 1 minus r. So f is equal rn over 1 minus r. So the right answer is B. For 28, I don't need to read the question because it's a subject Formula 1. So E is equal O plus 4M plus P over 6. And I want to make P the subject as clear. So B is in the numerator, so I'm going to start by multiplying 6 and E. So 6E is equal O plus 4M plus P. If I wanted to make P the subject and I wanted to keep it to the left, it's the same if I wrote it like this. So I'm going to move O and move the 4M as minus. So 6E minus O minus 4M. So the right answer is A.